catches, puts up the three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat packing the air, we about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe, you already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the Trey, yes and no, friends and the foes, the Butlers and the Herro. You can feel it in your soul, but when the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing, like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes, going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Yeah! Welcome to the Basement Sports Network post-game show. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd, and with me today, I have the two men who have been leading you over the course of this entire season. One man who has told you recently to find your guts, and another man who has told you what I'm about to tell you all season long. The Miami Heat are winning the fucking title! Fuck it you talking about? We just beat the shit out the Orlando Magic. Playing the perfect game, in my opinion. By a lot of metrics, but who am I to sit up here? Yes, Sing Jung-woo. Hemi is back. Jimmy Butler. Amazing, brother. We got playoff Jimmy in the regular season today. Be grateful. Ted Rozier, best offensive game in a Miami Heat uniform. Caleb Martin, where he belongs in the starting lineup. Brother, I'll let these men tell you everything that you need to know about this. Shepman, we're going to start with you. Go ahead. Give me your... Wait. No! Not the man who has... Everybody be quiet. Get out. Did he just leave?
He's gone.
I fucking hate him, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I hate this man. Shelton, let's start with you, bro. Give me your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I mean, the game was pretty boring to watch, I would say, overall. Like, it wasn't really a fun game to watch, but I feel like that's just like every Miami Heat game at this point. But it was not really too competitive for the entirety of the game. They did allow the Magic to get back in it a little bit right before the half, but they were pretty much dominating from the start, it felt like. And then that third quarter, they just took over. Bam sort of took over in that third quarter. I think he had 10 or 12 points, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was nice to see it was nice to see like Bam kind of return to himself in that quarter, and just getting like a full game from Terry Rozier, like complete effort for the first time since he's been here, where he was like distributing the ball well, and I thought he played pretty solid defense overall, and his shot finally fell, so that was nice to see.
Yeah, Ricky J. Mark, you've been telling us all year that the Heat are winning the title. Want to know how you feel tonight after being validated in kind of what you've been speaking on this entire year?
Look, I'm used to being right, so I'm not really too worried about how the fan base feels about that righteousness. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just going to start leaning into the fact that I'm right, and I know more than a lot of you people, and by you people, I mean you people. I'm super excited. We're 16-3 in 2024. We've only lost 3 times. Another home win. Played a great game against an annoying team, quite frankly. And look, just overall, from start to finish, I was happy. Never mind the fact that the Orlando Magic and Miami Heat have an identical record at the moment. Never mind the fact that the starting power forward of the opposing team is he's probably going to make a case for being the best power forward in the league within the next 5 years before signing with the Heat. in free agency, because if you win Rookie of the Year as a member of the Orlando Magic, you're going to leave at some point. It's just a matter of when, not if. Just look at the history. I don't need to tell you. I don't know. Tonight's a good night. Tonight's a good night. It's great to see how well everybody played, and quite frankly, the future is bright for this team. I believe we are now 4th, if not 3rd, in the Eastern Conference. There were 6 of our guys that were in double figures tonight. Our point guard was just awesome. Like he's an all-star this season. And I mean, we traded for a big man not too long ago that, I thought sucked, but apparently he's got a little game in him. And that's after losing our power forward for the next few months. So, hey, I'm happy. It's a good night.
Yeah, the Heat are still 7th, by the way. just putting that out there. Like,
wasn't talking about the Heat. At all.
Shut up.
Whatever.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with the Heat.
You got it.
16-3 in 2024. Miami? Really? Really? Just had a 7-game winning streak snapped against the Lakers over the weekend.
When you said it, I was like, wait, where is he going? Is he just going to lie? I was going to let you lie. But then you just illuminated me, and now your entire rant just pissed me off. Top tier work, Ricky J. Mark. Let's get into some of these individual performances. And for the first time in a long time, Shelton, I feel like it's appropriate to start with Jimmy Butler as the catalyst. He played well. I'll give him that. And then he had like this insane little like spurt where he hit like back-to-back threes and shit like that. It was getting a couple of assists in there. It was beautiful. Talk about Jimmy's game tonight.
Yeah, it was nice to see him like kind of doing a little bit of everything throughout the game. I never felt like he was just dominating, like scoring or dominating. Like usually he'll pick a lane and just stay with that the whole game. Like he'll come out with 11 points and then he'll have his 30-point game by the end of the game. Or he'll look to pass and then he'll have like 8 or 9 assists the rest of the game and like 17 points. He kind of like distributed it throughout the entire game. I don't know really how to phrase it, but yeah, that spurt that you're referencing, that was sort of like what sealed the game after the Magic started their little comeback. I think he hit 2 threes and then he had the layup. He did have 5 turnovers.
Yikes.
But overall, no, I'm not going to nitpick him too much. That was a pretty good Jimmy game overall. You can kiss 50, 40, 90 goodbye if he's going to shoot 9 of 12 from the free throw line. That's just like he said it the post game that he wanted to do that. He mentioned it, but if he's going to shoot 9 of 12, he's not raising that average too much.
Yeah, I think more so for me, like it's not so much counting stats with Jimmy Butler so much as effort with him. And I think the fact that you see his hand all over all these different stats means that the effort was there tonight. Ricky, did you get that same sense that like there was a sense of urgency with Jimmy tonight? Not so much like with trying to score, but just making sure that his presence was felt out there on the court?
Well, it's the second half of the season. The All-Star break is coming up. The trade deadline, I believe, is in 2 days. I wish I could attach a narrative to how Jimmy played tonight, but he's bound to have a game like this every once in a while. Maybe he strings them together a little bit more frequently in the playoffs when the opponent is the same, and it's like a 48-hour break between games. But we are now entering the dog days of the NBA season, and okay, he had a really good stat line tonight, but I mean, I'm not going to think too highly or too lowly about it, quite frankly. Jimmy played well.
Ricky J. Mark, that is not the culture and guts that this network has come to be.
The Miami Heat are going to win the NBA championship, and if you have a problem with that, not only are you a racist, but you support genocide.
Correct. Thank you. Exactly. what he said. Let's talk about Bam. Quiet isn't a way that I would describe his game. Like, I knew he was playing, but like, I don't know. I felt like he was just one of the guys tonight, as opposed to being like carrying us in any sense. Jumping into my tripping, like, did I miss Bam's impact tonight, or was it just kind of like, so-so?
I wouldn't even describe him as quiet, honestly. I think he got Wendell Carter into foul trouble like very early with his like shit down low. Not by himself exclusively, but this was like a really like for a 14-point game. I think that's what he had. 14. Like, this is what I want from Bam frequently. He took over in that third quarter. He was 7 of 9. Like, I don't feel like he forced anything. I don't feel like he went out of his way just to like get to like that weird foul line jumper that he takes. It just felt like he got the ball in the post. He had the one spin move dunk. He kind of just let the game come to him, and he didn't overdo it. And tonight he didn't have to. And like, that's what we asked from some of these guys. Like, so many nights where it's just like, feel like if we're not going to have a defined offensive system around one player, the way like the Cavs do with Donovan Mitchell, or, the Knicks do with Jalen Brunson, if you are not going to be that player, then find your role for the night. And I feel like Bam just did that. Like, he found that he needed to be a guy that needed to come out strong after the half when the Magic cut the game back to a 8-point deficit or whatever. He did that, and he did his job the rest of the night. Now, is that what you want from him? Is that what you want from your all-star? I don't know. That's another question that we can maybe have. But as far as like having a good game, yes, I would call this a good Bam Adebayo game.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. That's why I said I didn't know if quiet was the right word, and I think you've kind of articulated it. Quiet's the wrong word. It's absolutely the wrong word. It's just, you want Bam to have these games where he feels like an all-star. This felt like a good role player game. And I think it's been a while since I felt like Bam had a good role player game, because I judge him as an all-star. So like, either he has a good all-star game or his game fucking sucks.
He's been having a lot of bad all-star games over the last like 2 weeks. And I would rather take the good role player game than the bad all-star game.
I don't know if I'm there. Like, Ricky, where do you fall in that? Would you rather the bad all-star game or the good role player game?
Let's be very clear about something. Bam Adebayo had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in 30 minutes. He took 9 shots. We don't care that he did that, because 7 players scored in double figures tonight. Kevin Love had 7 points and Duncan Robinson had 9. If everybody regresses to the mean, we're wondering why Bam didn't score, or why Bam didn't play 12 more minutes, and why he didn't score around 12 to 15 more points. Let's just be real right now. These guys, you're not going to get 7 players in double figures every night. This isn't like the Denver Nuggets or some awesome team. Like, this isn't that team. This was a good night by a bunch of role players that don't normally play this well all together at the same time. If they do this, now, if we had that team, we wouldn't care that Bam got whatever numbers he got tonight. But he didn't have to, because remember, during Wade's prime, there were some nights where the Heat's role players had it going, and he had like maybe 21 points instead of 30. We don't care that he got 21, because everybody else was hitting shots, because at the end of the day, the ball found its way to the rim. And the Heat ended up blowing out the opposing player, or the opposing team. We don't care. But don't get any ideas, people. You're not going to get 7 players in double figures the next night and the next night after that. You might get that in a couple weeks. But you're not going to get that tonight. Or not tonight, but don't expect that. These players are not that good. This isn't what you think it is. This isn't the turning of a corner. This isn't the Miami Heat in 2006 after that loss to the Dallas Mavericks midway through the season, where there was a players-only meeting, and they turned it from there and finished with a 50-32 record en route to the franchise's first title. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't. Yeah.
So Ricky, I think I like the way that you put that. Like you said, like, we had 7 people scoring double figures tonight. Like, And exactly, we're not going to get that every night. So I don't want people to think that we're being hypercritical of the way Bam played tonight. Like, it's just a reality where it's like, okay, tonight you played a good game. It was acceptable. We got the win, and we'll take that. And I want to praise you for the things that you did well. But I also know that that won't be acceptable for the next game, which is tomorrow. Like, that's why we're going to be wrapping this up soon. Because
Can I push back a little bit? Because, like, all right, so, like, they were up, like, 14 or 15, and then the Magic cut it to, like, that 7 points right before the half. But then immediately out of the half, Bam scores, like, 10 of the first 14 points in that quarter. They outscored the Magic by 14 in the third quarter. It created that separation, and then the role players sort of just took over after that. I feel like at the critical juncture of the game, Bam was an all-star. And then when it didn't matter anymore, he kind of just fit in for the remainder of his minutes. And he ended up with 30 minutes, like Ricky said. Like, yes, like the numbers aren't going to be there every night from everyone, but like when you were at the point in the game where it was still coin flippy and could go either way, Bam showed up and did what he needed to do to make it out of reach for the Magic, and then they just autopiloted from there. I
agree. I think the problem, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's going to make it seem like I'm like nitpicking a win. Which is essentially what I'm doing. I'm nitpicking Bam, but it's like I get it. At the crucial juncture, Bam was there. You just want to see him not be satisfied with scoring in the same vicinity as Josh Richardson or allowing Jaime Jaquez to take more shots than him. Like, that's kind of where it is. I want to make sure that the disposition is always there, because tonight it felt like this is what Bam would be most comfortable doing. And it's like, I don't need him to get comfortable in this space, because this is not what we're going to need him to do. Let's switch focus a little bit, and let's go to Terry Rozier. Best game in his Heat career. 18 points, 7 to 12 shooting, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Is this okay? I'll say my opinion first before I throw this to Ricky. I do not believe that this is indicative of what we should expect from Terry Rozier going forward. That's not the type of player that he is. That's not like, and shout out to Heather because she watches Charlotte Hornet games, and she said this over and over again. Like, you will get some good nights out of Terry. You will get some bad nights out of Terry. I think this is one of his better nights. It probably won't consistently be as bad as it was before this, but I do think that we should like caution ourselves. Like, I think this is kind of like the prototype for how we want Terry to play. Ricky, do you think that we're closer to this version of Terry Rozier or the version that we've been seeing kind of like earlier going forward? Like, which one of those do you think we should lean into?
I think it's entirely way too early to make a decision on Terry Rozier right now, because before he was traded to Miami, he was the schedule that they had was insane. There was no rest. And then he gets traded to Miami, and then you see that stretch of games where it's like one after the other. Not only that, but he hasn't had time to rest. I'm not sure he's even completely moved in to wherever it is he's living right now in Miami.
I know he damn sure hasn't practiced yet. Like, he hasn't practiced with the Miami.
It's way too early. I mean, I think if you call me back in March or something like that, maybe we'll have an idea of where he might fit. And even then, I'm still gonna want to see a full training camp out of him. This is not exactly a plug and play type of player. He's gonna need time. For me, at least, it's too early to make a decision on what Terry Rozier might bring to the table. I think just tonight may have just been one of those games where it's like, all right, everybody played well. Terry's shot was falling. We don't know where he's going to settle in just yet. I don't know. Smush Parker never had a good game in Miami, but just let's wait. Let's wait and see. I'm happy to see that he played well, but
yeah,
I don't know yet. We haven't seen scary Terry just yet. The team just did.
So for someone like myself who's built a reputation off of telling you guys the future almost a year in advance, I'm just gonna tell you, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Terry Rozier had like another 2 of 11, 2 of 14 type game tomorrow. I also wouldn't be extremely disappointed because, like, like Ricky said, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like Terry Rozier isn't a plug and play type player on this roster, especially considering the uncertainty of kind of like what the lineup will be from night to night based on the guys that we have here. So like, I think this is ideal. You know what I mean? 15 to 18 points, 4, 5, 6, 7 assists. You know what I mean? He had 6 rebounds a night. Like, you want a lot of this, but like, I'm just not sure that you can count on him to do this from night to night. Alex, am I like going in the wrong direction? Like, or is this him trending up for Miami and something that people should start to look at?
I would like to think it's trending up, but again, it's only one game. It's the most complete game he's had to this point. I still do not like the offensive fit for the backcourt together. I think they're too similar of the same player. And I feel like a lot of the game that I watched today was like a your turn, my turn type thing, where the other one was standing around while whoever had the ball was going with it. That said, Terry made the most of his opportunities. The thing I think going forward is like, are you going to get 7 of 12 Terry, or are you going to get 2 of 11 Terry? Like, is it going to be the drastic difference in shooting splits, or can we find like a healthy medium where it's maybe like 5 of 11 where he's just below, the 50% mark? I don't really know going forward. That said, Adam, what do you think of Terry Rozier so far in a Heat uniform?
Well, I think Terry
I tried.
has been pretty impressive from start to finish. I mean, given everything that he's had to deal with, he's played all right. I'd say I'd give him a C+, quite frankly, because his the remainder of his assignments have not yet been. Oh, you mean Adam? I'm sorry. I thought you meant the biblical Adam and what he may have actually looked like.
Are you saying you are Black Adam, Ricky?
Come on. Oh, that was a terrible movie, by the way.
Black Adam is redundant because he was created out of the very soil of the earth. And if you look at Mediterranean,
he's talking about Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that movie because, quite frankly,
the hierarchy of the DC universe has just changed. That guy.
Yeah, that movie, the end of the after credits of that movie triggered me, quite frankly, because I screamed like a little girl, only to find out that they were going.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all are about to end up in a very different part of the basement, brother. Y'all's about to go to the nerd like World of Warcraft.
That's a great segue because we are doing a 24-hour stream leading into the trade deadline, and you will probably hear a lot of shit like this throughout that 24 hours because, quite frankly, there is not enough basketball to talk for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, listen, that so from midnight, starting midnight, so after tomorrow's game, starting at midnight, we will be doing a 24-hour stream for the trade deadline. George will be taking the majority of the shifts because it was his idea, but we will also be doing a bunch of different things. So, like, we'll watch a game together via playback or whatever, and trying to have it on the channel. We'll have Twitch going on where we're debuting that channel. We're going to be on here talking basketball trades. We're going to do some kind of like 2K trade simulation type shit. It's going to be a time, bro. So we're going to they're going to do a live Random Scrub Heat podcast towards the end of it. So just tap in with us on the 8th, bro, throughout the day. We will definitely be here. You got to stay all 24. But just to bless,
question.
1,000, bro.
Yeah,
just to bless and get on.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I was actually going to ask: is Jess going to be there?
Everybody from the network will be trying to make an appearance throughout the course of the day. The 24 hours is a long time. Yeah. Hey, Adam, you gonna show up for the 24-hour stream on trade deadline?
Inshallah.
Inshallah, indeed. All right, let's do that.
Gentlemen, I want you to do me a favor. Gentlemen, I want you to do me a favor. Gentlemen, I want you to do me a favor. Remove this cracker from my show.
All right, whatever. Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Yes. Yes. The part of the show that we've all been waiting for. Ricky J. Mark will now be explaining to you in depth the reasons why our culture has been taken away from us in terms of our inventions, innovations, ideas, and all of these things, and why we have to take that power back for ourselves. King Ricky, you have the floor. Great job, King Ricky. We are now about to talk about basketball once again. Let's go on and let's talk about I'm not going to do that shit on this show today. I want to talk about none of these guys, really. So I'm going to let y'all go back and forth picking some of these guys and do like real quick takes before we wrap this up because we got another game tomorrow. Let's start with Caleb Martin. I think it was cool tonight. Ricky, you want to talk about Caleb Martin?
Just so everybody at home understands, Royal lied to me before this started. He told me that Jess was going to be on the stream, and he knows how I feel. So when I came on and I saw that Jess wasn't here, I was so upset. I was cursing him loudly backstage before we went live, loudly, and I'm hanging on by a thread right now. I'm hanging on by a thread.
All black people are loud, Ricky J. Mark? Are you calling us loud mouths?
Loud mouths that throw chairs at people. That's right.
Are you calling me a monkey, Ricky J. Mark?
No, that's what the
on
other
February 6th, 10:26 p.m.
No, that ain't this. That ain't that network.
Thank you guys in the comments as always for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to everybody on the panel. We're gonna cut this short. Y'all will see us tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with us for a 24-hour stream. Play the fucking video, Justin.
I'm coming to Orlando, baby.
Play the video with me.